What is your relationship to relationship, Cancer? How does love live in your life? This is Spirit's first question for you as we look at the month of August. Hi, Cancer. Welcome. I'm Madeline. Thank you for joining Zero's Journey. We're going to talk about the story of August for you, the role you're playing, the people around you, what's ahead, what's behind. But first, we're going to get into this mission statement from Spirit a little bit. So, pulled a card for you before we got started from the Threads of Fate deck. Your mission statement, your consciousness is best and most beneficially focused on love this month, Cancer. So, when we think about, when I think about Cancer, I think about a very loving sign, a very emotionally active sign. I was gonna say aware, and then Spirit kind of wagged their finger like, hey, this is part of what we're talking about. So, bringing awareness to the way that you love and want to be loved, and this is important, how you allow yourself to be loved and disallow, Cancer, the crab, shell, we got our soft shell Cancers, we got our hard shell Cancers. You'll know pretty fucking quick which camp you're in. If you are the Cancer who wears your heart on your sleeve, is super soft, cries at the movies and commercials and all the things in between, soft shell, right? Hard shell is like, ain't nobody getting in here until I'm damn good and ready. Like, you better have some either amazing emotional gymnastics that you're able to do to get over my moat and past the guillotine and all the things to get in here, or you're putting in the time until a Cancer really is like, okay, you're here to stay. So another thing about Cancers, right? There can be issues with codependence. There can be issues with I'm not okay if you're not okay, or etc., or you can't be okay if I'm not okay, right? Because that's the reverse, is like, wait, I'm over here distraught and you're just over there playing games on your phone, like, are you a sociopath? And it's like, no. Spirit's being funny. Cancer, the way that we allow ourselves to be loved is commensurate to the way that we love ourselves, right? There's probably not a headline for you. And yet, it's kind of like when people tell you, like, hey, drink more water. It's like, yeah, I've heard it a million times. Yeah, you heard it a million times because it's true, because it's really good for you. Like, you know what I'm saying? And Spirit is talking about the fact that, some of you are partnered, some of you are single, all the things in between. Whether we're single or partnered, working on our relationship to ourselves and actually learning to love ourselves and learning to love ourselves unconditionally, it's like body positivity. It doesn't mean there's nothing I want to improve or nothing I want to change, but it's like, I'm gonna love myself the whole way. I'm gonna forgive myself for having my lapses in judgment or behavior or whatever, because, fucking spoiler alert, most of us improve our behavior and make changes a lot better when we are positively supported and reinforced than when we are castigated and shamed out of doing the things that we do. You know what I'm saying? So when I pull this card, when I, Spirit and I talk before I turn on this thing, right? And their idea is that there be a mission statement. Like, we're here on Zero's Journey. My whole ass logo is a compass, right? So it's like, what's my North Star? It'll be interesting to see if the star turns up in your reading this month. Where's my North Star? If I look to this, if I default to this, if I come back to this, I'm going to be on path. It's always good advice, Cancer. But when you come back to love, you'll be on path. But remembering that Spirit is saying, like, we as humans can disguise love. We can put a cape on it. We can put a mysterious cloak on it. We can lock it behind closed doors. We can love, real love, capital L love, is given freely. That's what Spirit is saying. For some of you, this is like, hey, if your partner or your would-be partner or whomever, family member, whatever, this doesn't have to only be romantic, this is about love, all the love, right? If someone is cajoling, coercing, obfuscating, to get or give love, then it's not love with a capital L. I won't say that there's no love there. I won't say that. But I'll say, like I said, that love can be twisted and disguised. And capital L love is like capital T truth. Like, it can hurt, and it can even sever things. But it's always right. So, meaning, listen, we haven't even pulled out your cards yet. Meaning, if through loving ourselves unconditionally and deeply and actually hearing ourselves out when like somebody that we love says something hurtful, instead of burying it as we, you know, I have some Cancer stuff in my chart. So I say we, not speaking from a high horse here. So when we martyr ourselves or bury that reaction because we're trying to be all things to all people or all things to this to this people, sorry, we are moving further away from being able to be loved for who we really are, and we're moving closer to people and things that don't feel authentic to us. So it's a lose-lose. That's what Spirit is saying, right? So loving ourselves, acknowledging like, hey, when you said that, that hurt my feelings. That's like the most loving thing you can do for yourself and for the other person, assuming that they love you with a capital L. Because if they love you with a capital L, they would want to know that this behavior is hurting you, or you want it to change, or you need something, or whatever. Hear me? Okay. Let's get into the story of your month. Like I said, woof, Spirit started off with a bang. Oh my goodness, it's going to be a theme for those of y'all that stick around and watch these readings. Me defending my plants from my cat. She's looking around trying to see which chaos she can create, because as you can see, I'm like kind of surrounded, but there's more off screen that you can't see. Any of y'all have bad kitties? What do you do? I love her. I mean, listen, I'm not sacrificing my cat for a plant, but if you've got tips and tricks. Okay. Thanks, Cancer. Thanks for bearing with me. Now, let's talk about August. Spirit, we've got our mission statement. We've got our compass rose. What does Cancer need to know in the month of August? What's the story? Please tell us about the plot, the energy, pitfalls, potentials, the truth for the highest good, the greatest joy, security, sense of peace, wisdom. For Cancer. Wow. Okay. Spirit, for Cancer. What do they need to know in the month of August, Spirit? The truth for their highest good. The truth for Cancer, Spirit. In the month of August. Let's see what we got here. Wow. Okay. Spirit is playing a song for you, Cancer. Any of y'all remember the song? And if you don't, I would advise you to, if not listen to the song, then at least look up the lyrics. The song is Standing Still. It's by the artist Jewel. I think it's from back in the 2000s. I can't quite remember. Early 2000s is what I mean. Am I standing still beneath the darkened sky? Or am I standing still with the scenery flying by? Or am I standing still and at the corner of my eye, was that you passing me by? Those are the lyrics that they're reminding me of. It feels like you have a lot on your mind this month, Cancer. And I think that you would, I feel like this is part of the reason Spirit is coming strongly through with this message about like love. It's time to bring in assistance. It's time to bring in a friend, another pair of eyes, an editor, whatever. It's time to get a little more collected. That's what Spirit is saying. So 3 of Pentacles is at the center of your reading. As you can see in the depiction of the card, it's the artist, it's the model, it's the teacher. They are all necessary pieces to create the great work, right? Like, of course, that artist could just sit and doodle from their mind something, but it's not going to be as full, it's not going to be as whole, right, without the model. And it's not going to be as precise and as rich without the teacher. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like, Cancer, some of you have been trying to do everything all by yourself. 9 of Cups is sitting in the sort of hidden position. And, you know, I'm an intuitive reader, Cancer. So the cards, of course, have classical meanings, and they strongly, of course, influence the way that the story plays out. But, you know, you may hear me say a lot like Spirit says and da-da-da. I'm doing channeling and intuitive reading while looking at these cards. So 9 of Cups is a good card. It's a card of like, look at what I've done. I'm proud of myself. Like, but it can also indicate a little bit of, well, let's look at your crowning reading. A mirror for that 9 of Cups card, right? Because it's in the lower position. The 2 of Swords is analysis paralysis. It's holding back. It's, I don't know if I should go this way or that way, and I don't want to make a wrong decision, so I think I'll just do nothing. Like, I think I'll just sit here until I know for sure. And the 2 of Swords pretty much indicates it's like you have done all of the analyzing that you can. Like, the analyzing is not going to be the thing that tells you what the best next step is or the best next direction is. It's bringing in some assistance. Now, so 3 of Pentacles at the center. Here's who is crossing your reading. King of Cups. This is big you energy, Cancer. Now, whenever we meet a court card in the tarot, it does indicate meeting a person in life, someone around us. And of course, this card represents who or what is most strongly influencing you right now, or like sort of is around and available. The King of Cups is, Spirit is saying a couple things, because of course these are general readings, Cancer. I'm hearing therapist for some of you, where it's like, again, that thing of like, maybe you've been working on yourself for a long time, and it's like, okay, now I've reached a point where I don't know what the next step is or what the next thing is. Let me bring in some like literal professional help. And I really despise that there's a stigma around that. Like, if you ask me, everybody should be able to get therapy for free. Like, healthcare should be fucking free. We live in a good country. Like, come on the fuck. But anyway, that's a whole other tangent, a whole other video. But that is just to say that if your hackles come up when I say like, hey, what about the idea of getting therapy or getting professional help? If that like gives you itchies, I just want you to know that I don't see that as a bad thing. I see that as the move of a very mature and wise person who's like, I want to improve my life. I want to improve my relationship with myself, or whatever it is. And listen, Cancer, these are general readings. Spirit is saying a few different things. It's for some of y'all, it's like, I need to hire a professional organizer because my house is a fucking mess, and like, this is too much for me, and it's making me sad, and I can't handle it. Here is the card representing where you find yourself. When I said that there's like too much on your mind, and it's like it's too many fucking moving pieces or whatever, and like, how am I supposed to figure this all out on my own? You're not. Again, I feel like that's why Spirit opened with love, is like, there are people who care about you. And even if you do happen to be somebody who feels like, no, I don't have people that care about me, or not that many, or not the kind that can help me, or whatever, that's where Spirit is saying, well, then we must seek assistance. You know what I mean? Like, again, my moon is in Cancer. The Cancer struggle is real, y'all. Like, I would love, this is seriously not like a comment request for like engagement. This is literally like, if any of my Cancer people want to share a little bit about the struggle, we have the crab, right? There's a big fat fucking reason why the crab is our symbol. It's like, I can go back in like hermit crab, like, I'll just retreat into my shell if you treat me like shit, or if you make me feel bad, or if you say the wrong thing at the wrong time, if we're being honest, because, you know, Cancer, we can be in a mood and somebody can say the wrong thing and it's over. Pardon me, isn't it the worst when you get an eyelash in your eye, and like especially when you're in the middle of trying to like share important information? Okay, I think I got it. Forgive me if I'm weeping. I promise, like, I know I said I have Cancer placements, but I'm not weeping because of this. This is all good. Okay. So we can have a tendency to withdraw from real or imagined hurts, and we can tend to martyr ourselves. And it's like, if we said, for example, hey, could you help me clean the house? And this may be very specific to somebody who's listening to this. Like, hey, can you help me clean the house? And the person doesn't. We can be the person who's like, I'm gonna walk out and just silently cleaning the house, just, you know, maybe a big deep sigh, or like a Spirit's being funny. But listen, they're not making fun. They're like, if you're doing that, like, again, we're doing a disservice to both people. And that is not to say, like, okay, Spirit's covering a lot of ground right now. They're being like, listen, that is not to say that some of you don't have, like, immature partners who do need to, like, get their shit together, right? Like, yeah, you should help me if I ask you the first time to help me. But if this is maybe one of the times I can count on one hand within this relationship that I've asked for help, maybe it's not surprising that the person is, like, not really hearing it, because, like, I haven't been loud about it. I'm not blaming you. If I swear to God, like, it's like, how free and open and willing have I been to be like, I need help. Like, I can't do this by myself. I need your assistance, or whatever this is. Again, remembering this could mean professional organizer. This could mean therapist. This could mean accountant. This could mean personal assistant, depending on where you are in life and what you need. One way or another, it feels like trying to take this on alone is going to stunt its growth, or keep you feeling like this. And this doesn't feel good. Like, this doesn't feel good. I feel like you need assistance. I feel like you need people on your side. I feel like you also really need to simplify. Like, are you taking on too much? Have you said yes to too many things? Do you need to, like, practice a divine, loving no? Like, cancers and boundaries, right? That can be a thing. Like, you want to help everybody. You feel for everybody, and that's a beautiful thing. And if you had a friend, Cancer, that you knew was taking on everybody's shit and never asking for help, you'd be like, please ask for help. So be that person for yourself. Like, hey, please, me, you deserve assistance. So me, ask for that help that you need, you know? You deserve, and you're coming up against a lot. And it just feels like, to be honest with you, it just feels like August is kind of a lot. It's like a lot of things, like a lot of projects that need to be done, or a lot of tasks, or a lot of little conflicts that pop up. You can handle it. That's what Spirit is saying. This is the energy around you. 7 of Wands is, hey, you have the higher ground, but there are people coming at you with, like, hey, where's this? And hey, did you do that? And where's this? And where's that? And for some of you, I feel like that's work, where it's like, y'all really made me kind of the catch-all, and fuck that. I'm not a catch-all. I'm not somebody who, like, whatever slides down the fucking, like, slush lands in my, like, inbox or my desk or whatever. You need to ask for help. Like, or you need to say, this is too much for me. You need to distribute this among other employees or whatever. Like, if you, again, this is not to blame you. This is to say, if we do not advocate for ourselves, there's a danger that no one else will. It's beautiful when someone else does, and we're so grateful to those people. Like, but we must learn to advocate for ourselves, because that too is a love language, right? The potential. The card that is sort of most malleable in the reading. I like this. It's that big deep breath. It's that exhale. It's that lie back and rest. It's that, you know what? I'm calling into work today. Or, you know what? Like, I'm canceling the plans that I had for this weekend, and I'm not doing anything except laying and, like, getting my bearings and hydrating and eating good food and, like, journaling. Like, I am doing the most restful, the most meditative, the most relaxing things, and that's all that I'm doing, because my mind needs a rest. And it does. Your mind needs a rest. You have a lot of goals. a lot of goals, a lot of dreams. And this is where I was saying that Spirit is giving me like, hey, simplify. What's first? What's most important? And they're reminding me of this vision they gave me once during a personal reading with somebody. And I just love talking to Spirit, because you, being a reader, any of y'all who are like intuitive or do this kind of work are going to know what I'm talking about. You'll be giving somebody a reading and Spirit comes through with some incredible channeled wisdom, and it's like, oh shit, thank you, I could use that, I didn't know that shit. So anyway, simplify. What's the first cup? The vision that they gave me was, you know, the Seven of Cups indicates like, hey, you might be spreading like your energy, your ideas, your interests a little far out and diffusing the energy. So rather than pouring the finite amount of like water, right? So your energy, your emotional investment into 7 different cups, so that you've got like 7 sort of half done, third finished, barely started projects, interests, hobbies, dreams, whatever. Instead, pick the 1 or the 2, or at the most, I'm going to say 3, that are like my health, my, you know, health and fitness or something, and like my relationship with my partner and my relationship with myself. And these are the 3 things that I'm focused on cultivating, that my habits will be devoted to, that my free time will go toward, whatever. Like, because when you fill that first cup, that is like, this one's the most important, it will fill to the brim. And when you are filled with that goodness, that, you know, for example, if you were working on your nutrition and your fitness, it was like, oh wow, I have a lot more energy, so I feel better about myself. And that cup tips into the developing my relationship with myself. It's like, my confidence is growing. I'm recognizing myself as a person who like makes a promise to themselves and follows through on it. I really like that about me. And like, because I'm feeling more confident and good about myself and walking tall and feeling attractive, there's like new spark and interest in my partner. So that second cup starts pouring into the relationship with my partner. Do you know what I'm saying? Which thing will build upon the next thing? Focus, simplify, reduce. 9 of Swords, that like, card is like too much on your mind. And you're kind of like spinning your wheels and freaking yourself out about like outcomes and things that are like either haven't happened yet, or are like a possibility, or are far in the distance. And it's like, if we take steps now, we can either mitigate or change completely that outcome. So instead of sitting up and worrying, I'm going to take this time to, for example, seek the help that I need. And remember, seeking the help that you need can look like booking a professional or talking to a friend, or it can look like finding a digital community. If you are a person who's like, well, yeah, I am that hoarder that you're talking about, but I can't afford a professional organizer or a cleaner or something, but I can find like a free, you know, Facebook or digital community group or whatever, that is like people who hoard and are trying to like change their behavior, who share resources, who, you know, support each other and hold each other accountable and things like that. You know what I'm saying? There is help out there. And I say that because the key to your reading, 5 of Pentacles, this is kind of a woe is me card, Cancer. It's a, I'm struggling, I'm like, I feel alone, or at least like barely assisted, and I'm struggling. And you notice in this card, and in the classical version of the card, it's very clear that the 2 people that are struggling out in the snow are walking past a church, which this is a whole other video and we will not get into this topic, but at least in theory, a church is meant to be a place of sanctuary. It's meant to be a place where no matter what state you're in, and especially if you're in this kind of struggling state, you should be able to knock and ask for sanctuary, ask for help, ask for shelter, and you receive it. So the card indicates there is indeed help available to you. Ask for it. Someone who can help you know maybe which cup you want to start on, is what Spirit is saying. And which cup will tip into the next cup and into the next cup. Trust yourself. Your intuition is very strong this month. Use it on you. That's what Spirit just said. You so often provide your intuition and your wisdom, your emotional sense in service of others. That's beautiful. Don't stop. But let's redirect. that energy toward you, at least for August, just as an experiment. Let's just see what comes. Okay, Cancer, thank you for being here. I really hope this reading is helpful. And you know, I'm always curious, like, so if you have questions, if you have stories, if you have like comments about how this is already coming up in your life, I would love to hear about it. Let me know. And if you liked this, please like it. If you didn't like it, please dislike it. And if you want to book a reading or hang out and chat, I've got a Discord, I've got a website, Patreon, I got all the things. Listen, if you want to do things, we got things. Thanks again, Cancer, for being here. And if I don't see you in the Sunday vlogs, then I hope I will see you in your September reading. Bye, Cancer.